In the scriptural justice system, the highest of the high, the Most High, Yah, is the judge and jury, and the seed of Israel are his children. These are their stories. Part 1. Roots of Erasure, 70 CE, 400 CE. How the hunt on the Israelites started, who did it, and why later records don't look like us. 1. Starting point. A real nation in a real land. Before any empire touched the records we had, a land, Jerusalem, Judea, a temple system, Hebrew, Aramaic language, and a clearly visible people, African-looking Afro-Asiatic Israelites among other dark peoples of the region, Mizraim, Kemet, Canaan, Cush nearby. Empire could not deny that. So the first move of empire was not renaming people. The first move was breaking the center. Na 270 CE, Rome breaks the center event. Roman general Titus destroys the Second Temple. Why it matters. Temple equals public proof of the covenant people. Destroy the temple, scatter the people, make them look like exiles, migrants, captives. Rome takes thousands as slaves and deportees around the Mediterranean, North Africa, and deeper into Africa through trade routes. Key effects. 1. Israelites are now seen by the world as captives of Rome, not as the covenant nation. 2. Once scattered, they start mixing in cities where records are Roman Greek, not Hebrew. So the first level of erasure is, if we scatter them, later people won't see them as a nation, just as random dark people in random ports. 3. 132 to 135 CE, Bar Kokhba and the renaming of the land. A second revolt rises against Rome. Rome crushes it harder. Rome's response renames the land from anything tied to Israel to Syria-Palestina. Limits Israelite access to Jerusalem. This is the first official cut them off from being a nation move. It's political, not yet baptismal, but it establishes the pattern. Destroy center, rename land, push Israelites out. Later generations can't point and say that's ours. Number 4. The scattering routes. Very important for later Mexico-Brazil talk. When Rome scatters people, they don't all run to Europe. They go to North Africa, Egypt, Cyrenaica, Libya, Carthage, Arabia, Asia Minor, Turkey, deeper into Africa via Nile and caravan routes. That means by the time we get to Spain, Portugal, 1,200 years later, there are already Israelite lines that have been African for centuries, meaning dark, African-looking, Afro-Asiatic Israelites, long before Spain forces names on them. So yes, when we say later that there were Israelites in Mexico with Spanish names, some of those lines go all the way back through. Mexico, Spain, Portugal, North Africa, Judea. They didn't start Spanish. They were Israel under layers. We will keep that in view. 5. 4th century shift. Empire plus religion fuse. Now we move to the next kind of erasure. What happens? Constantine, early 300s, and then Theodosius, 380, make the faith of the Israelite Messiah into the imperial religion. That faith gets run by Greek and Latin leadership, not native Hebrews. Councils start saying, we don't date our feast by the Hebrews. That's Nicaea 325 logic. Why this matters. Once empire faith detaches from Hebrew time, Hebrew language, Hebrew calendar, it becomes easy to say, open quote, we are the new people now, close quote. That's the foundation that later lets Iberia say, open quote, you Israelites must become us, close quote. So by 400 CE we already have 1. Israelites scattered and mixed in other lands, 2. Land renamed, 3. Empire faith no longer following Hebrew rhythms. 4. A ruling church that can call itself the people of the book while pushing out the original people of the book. That is the root. 6. Where crypto starts. Even this early. When empire faith becomes mandatory in certain cities, Israelites who want to keep Sabbath or Passover in the old way begin to keep it quietly. That's the seed of what, 1,100 years later, Iberia will call crypto-Hebrews. So to your point about Mexico, in the 1500s to 1600s, when the Mexico Tribunal is arresting new Christians for keeping the law of Moses, they are not just random Spaniards. Many of them are the descendants of actual Israelites who had already been pushed through North Africa and Iberia. By the time they reach Mexico, their names are Spanish, but their line and practice are Israelite. Mexico had both, 1. Original Israelite bloodlines under Iberian names, and 2. Their descendants who were now keeping the covenant in secret. The empire called them crypto, but they were just Israel still trying to breathe. 7. Why this part ends at 400 CE. By 400 CE we have the full setup. Israel scattered. Land renamed. Empire faith installed. Hebrew time pushed aside. Seed of secret keeping started. Everything after 400 CE, Visigothic Spain, Islamic expansion, Iberian expulsions, colonial inquisitions, is just this route playing out over and over in different uniforms. So part 1 is complete. We identified the people. We identified the first destroyer, Rome. We identified the first renaming of the land. Welcome to Yarn Order.
I'm just flying high on my horse. I live by peace while you incite wars. I just mind my business, I just mind my business. While you just in your feelings, you just in your feelings.